Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So since 2014, I film a yearly video at the end of the year where I show you all of my unread books, my complete TBR. In 2014, wasn't bad. 2015, meh. 2016, erika. And now we're here, 2017. And this is embarrassing. I don't even want to film this. There's probably 120-ish books that I own that I haven't read, and I'm gonna share them all with you today. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Let's start with what I'm currently reading. Alive, The Story of the Andes Survivors by Pierce Paul Reed. Your Inner Fish, A Journey into the 3.5 Billion Year History of the Human Body by Neil Shubin. The Norton Book of the Sea, edited by John O. Coote. The Pirate Captain, Chronicles of a Legend by Carrie Lynn. How do I make this entertaining? Because it's just me talking about books. 11/22/63 by Stephen King. The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson, edited by Thomas H. Johnson. I read one of these every day and I feel that I have made no progress at all. Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Remember when I used to say, Erika, you must finish Oliver Twist? And then I didn't. English Passengers by Matthew Neal. And then I have all of these Jack Sparrow books. I thought I would have read these by now, but then I didn't. I still have books 6 through 11 to read. Operation Cure Boredom by Dan Martin. I really want to read this. Pirate Queen, The Life of Grace O'Malley by Judith Cook. The Perfect Storm by Sebastian Junger. Brain on Fire, My Month of Madness by Susanna Callahan. This is not even my book. I'm borrowing this from a coworker. I'll give it back eventually. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I started this, didn't finish it. Great Tales and Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. I also started this, didn't finish it. The Stranger, Albert Camus. On Stranger Tides by Tim Powers. Middlemen, short stories by Jim Gavin. Sea Change, Alone Across the Atlantic in a Wooden Boat by Peter Nichols. Oh, what'd I do to this book? I damaged it. Slouching Towards Nirvana, New Poems by Charles Bukowski. I don't know what I did, but I butchered the cover. The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Now we're on to shelf 2. This entire shelf is unread books. There are 5 shelves. It's embarrassing. Earthly Powers by Anthony Burgess. The End of Nature by Bill McKibben. Galapagos by Kurt Vonnegut. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, The Complete Poems. The Sea Wolf by Jack London. Peter Fruchen's Book of the Seven Seas. This is one of those books that I kind of just love, even though I haven't read it, but I just love this book. We match. American Pastoral by Philip Roth. The Plague by Albert Camus. Death Takes a Holiday by Jennifer Harlow. I read the second book of the series this year. Didn't like it at all. I don't even know if I want to read this one. Sudden Sea, The Great Hurricane of 1938 by R.A. Scotti. Watership Down by Richard Adams. Shadow Divers, The True Adventure of Two Americans Who Risked Everything to Solve One of the Last Mysteries of World War II by Robert Curson. Very long title. Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Small Steps by Louis Satcher. Sequel to Holes. Mysterious Island by Jules Verne. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte? Yeah. Special Topics in Calamity Physics by Marisha Pessel. Friday Night Lights by H.J. Basinger. The Edge of the Sea by Rachel Carson. Fluke by Christopher Moore. Charlie Bone and the Invisible Boy by Jenny Nimmo. This is the 3rd book? Yeah, book 3 in the Children of the Red King series. We're on to shelf 3 now, making progress. Krakatoa by Simon Winchester. The Day the World Exploded, August 27th, 1883. This is about, volcano. Rocket Boys by Homer H. Hickam Jr. This is the true story that inspired October Sky. October Sky? Yeah, October Sky. White Oleander by Janet Fitch. The Watch That Ends the Night by Hugh McLennan. Fun Home, a family tragicomic by Alison Bechdel. A graphic novel that I wanted to read a long time ago. Oh, look at that, look at that. Love Letters from Sharkbait. I will expose these someday. 2 Years Before the Mast by Richard Henry Dana Jr. The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. Invasion of the Body Snatchers by Jack Finney. In Evil Hour by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Captains Courageous, Kipling. Billy Budd and Other Stories by Herman Melville. Kronos Rising by Max Hawthorne. This looks like my thing. Like, this book is my heart and soul, and I can't wait to read it. Look at this! Oh, that's so ridiculous! By the Open Sea, August Strindberg. Pirates and Piracy, by E. Keble Chatterton. Hiroshima by John Hersey. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I need to read this book. Sailing Alone Across the World, no, Around the World. Sailing Alone Around the World by Joshua Slocum. The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Will not read this until I read Oliver Twist, but when is that gonna happen? Text by S.E. Hinton. The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. The Pianist by an author whose name I can't. Can you? Cause I can't. I don't know how to pronounce anything. I am a failure at life. Rant by Chuck Palahniuk. Bluebird by Kurt Vonnegut. The Shadow Line by Joseph Conrad. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I remember really enjoying this cover. It's just so cute. We're on to shelf 4. Ugh, I can't carry all of these. Master of the World by Jules Verne. Under the Sea Wind by Rachel Carson. T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland, and Other Poems. Aku Aku by Thor Heyerdahl. I read Kon-Tiki, so now I gotta read this one. Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights by John Steinbeck. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. The Golden Age of Piracy by Hugh F. Rankin. Under the Jolly Roger, being an account of the further nautical adventures of Jackie Faber by Ellie Meyer. Lagoon by Nnedi Okorafor. What did I just say? Morning of Fire, John Kendrick's Daring American Odyssey in the Pacific by Scott Ridley. The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. For Whom the Bell Tolls by Ernest Hemingway. 3 short novels by Joseph Conrad. Heart of Darkness, Youth, Typhoon. Curse of the Blue Tattoo, being an account of the misadventures of Jackie Faber. I said that already. It's the next book in that series. Ellie Meyer, whatever. Cup of Gold by John Steinbeck. I was supposed to read this already. I disappoint myself. The Sea Around Us by Rachel Carson. I am just, I guess, collecting all of the Rachel Carson, even though I've read nothing. Wait, no, I have read one thing, haven't I? I don't remember. Becoming Steve Jobs, The Evolution of a Reckless Upstart into a Visionary Leader by Brent Slender and Rick Tetzelli, maybe? When Elephants Weep, The Emotional Lives of Animals by Jeffrey Mason, I don't know. The House with the Clock in Its Walls by John Bellairs. 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. We have reached the final shelf. Holy. The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. America and Americas by John Steinbeck. The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. Don't know. The Sirens of Titan by Kurt Vonnegut. Her Name, Titanic. Charles Pellegrino. Sea Battles. Great stories and classic tales from the golden age of naval warfare. In the Heart of the Sea, The Tragedy of the Whale Ship Essex by Nathaniel Philbrick. What Happened to Baby Jane by Henry Farrell, with 3 short stories in print for the first time. What? I don't know. Grayson by Lynn Cox. Great Stories of the Sea and Ships, edited by NC, with illustrated by Peter Hurd. Gosh, this book is beautiful. There's a load of people in here. I Loved You More by Tom Spanbauer. I don't know, that. War of the Whales, a true story by Joshua Horwitz. Riptide by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. And the last book is Serendipity, An Ecologist's Quest to Understand Nature by James A. Estes, forward by Harry W. Green. I bought this book not too long ago, and those are all of my unread books on my shelf that I'm so embarrassed to have not read by now. It's fine though, like it's fine. Have you read any of these books on my shelf? Thoughts and opinions? I would love to talk with you in the comments below. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in another video soon, shortly. I hope. We'll see. Okay, goodbye.